You know what I used to tell people? I used to tell my audiences,
Yeah.
the music was slapped out of me.
I woke up one day and, he had strangled me in my sleep.
She's making me jealous.
No, I'm not.
She's intimidating me. Sorry, I'm going to start now. Final. Hello, welcome again to Heal with Doreen. My name is Doreen Nyiramugisha. I am a wellness coach and a holistic sexologist. The last time I've been talking to you alone. Today I'm not alone, right? I also want to thank you for sticking around. I want to thank you for loving Heal with Doreen, for growing Heal with Doreen, for giving me your comments, for giving me your authentic opinion, for giving me your great criticism. I feel like we're going so far together. I have this belief that we are really learning again how to heal in community. And I want to build this place to be that safe space where we can say it all, right? We started with dealing with the mother wound. We know that's a taboo subject. We got into seeing how it affects our sexuality and so much more. Then this year I came up with some of the ways in which I think women and men can be able to utilize their sexual wellness to own their pleasure. All right. So today I'm not alone. Like I said, last time I was alone and I felt lonely. And today I'm joined by a beautiful lady who came all the way from Uganda. She's my sister. We met on social media, but my soul knows that it met her somewhere else. We've been sisters somewhere else before that. We have a lot in common. We've done wellness. I do wellness with different people and it guides them into different spaces, but I and Ashaba have done wellness and it has guided her or brought her or led her to different places, and she's here to share that with you. But when she came from Uganda, she came to serenade us with her beautiful voice at the just concluded Desire and Desirability dinner. I wish you can come for those dinners. Desirability dinners are the spaces, or is a space that we have created for us to be able to come together in a very dignified, beautiful way, still talk about healthy sexuality, break down what sex education really means, talk about intimacy, talk about femininity, talk about just thriving, talk about how to make womanhood beautiful, talk about how to really build meaningful connections with our men, see how we can be able to bring them into wellness as well so that we can build conscious relationships. So that's what we do at D&D. The last D&D, our theme was soft is power. I believe that. I've been saying that for a very long time, but we're at a place where now people can listen. That soft is power. And I'm here today with Ashaba to talk about what we talked about at D&D. We had so many voices from so many of the ladies, what soft power means to them, how they can make the soft in them powerful, how the soft in us is powerful, but it has been reduced to not having any strength completely, how we can revive the soft in us and make it powerful again. Because I know Women's Month, Women's Day, Women's Month, it's a lot about breaking glass ceilings and then accelerating action in different spaces and all that. What about accelerating action into what is innately inside us, but has been allowed to sleep, has been shamed, has been, weakened. And yet, honestly, it's the strength that drives most of us or majority of us, and that's the feminine, the softness of our feminine power, right? So when Ashaba came for D&D, Ashaba is an artist. She's going to tell you about herself. I would like for you to experience her through her voice. I don't even want to mention her hair color, her smile. I just need you to hear it from her. But when she came, like she usually does, she came to sing with us. She came to talk, to speak with us, to interact with us about healing, because we have been healing together, and what healing does for a voice, for for artists, what it does for our sense of expression. And we've done so much with her, but she also brought music in line with soft is power. And when she spoke about her journey, like she always does, because she always gives us, she doses us, you know, each time. She tells us a bit about her journey. We all have stories to tell, and she has had a story to tell us. When she spoke at D&D, I felt like her message needs to go out to more than just the ladies that came for D&D. And I asked her to stick around. I've been lucky enough to stick with her. She's taken me to Sofa Nairobi, where she was performing, and I got goosebumps. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is so magical. She was very beautiful at the performance, audience engagement. She's a very magnetic woman, and literally the embodiment of soft is power. So Ashaba.
Yes, Dory.
It's been lovely.
The pleasure's
having
been mine.
You call yourself the Kabale expert. Do you want me to say Hazamtahunga?
We're being soft.
Oh, so I should not bring the... But I thought we'll play and we'll bring the softness out. So Hazamtahunga,
Nkabashara. That's what it is.
What does it mean?
Well, it's a playful way of saying, please dance with me.
Don't run away.
Yeah, don't run.
Nkabashara means what?
If you translate it literally, it wouldn't make any sense.
I just want you to try, because it's more like, if you run away from me, you won't see me again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, they are not run away from me. You know, something
like you'll lose out.
You lose out, and something like Hazamtahunga Nkabashara. Oh, it was beautiful. You took us through that. I felt like I was back, you know, in those spaces, in those hills and mountains of Kabale. And the way you represent Kabale, I thought I said Uganda.
Yeah.
I gave up. So Ashaba, tell us about you. Introduce yourself to us before we can go into what is very obvious about you. Soft is power, but introduce yourself to us.
Hello, intentional beings. My name is Ashaba Pride, aka Ashaba Music. When I'm on stage, I am the voice of the voiceless.
Nice one.
Yeah, I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I like to share that story because it does not define me, but then it is also the reason why I've found strength in life on very many fronts. And it is also one of the biggest reasons why I have linked up with Doreen and we've become inseparable. So now every time I can travel, I make sure I'm here to sing and to also catch up and to share my journey and how much I'm actually really healing from even just watching from a distance. But mostly because you have to be willing to make the step forward to really benefit from what Doreen teaches. Because you can just listen and take a few notes, but the real life of doing life with the things that she shares, I follow her social media platforms. Even when I'm not chatting her up, I can take months without chatting her up, but I follow everything she posts on her Instagram. And what I can do, I do. I have often told her that there is so much that sometimes I feel like, oh my goodness, where do I catch up with all this wellness journey? But I have chosen what is special to me, what is most applicable to me as a woman, as a musician, and as a mother, and as all these titles. And then I've brought it together to help me out, to be a better person, but also to benefit from my gift. Because my voice, when people listen to me now, they think I've already sung like this, but that's not how it has been. I started singing after meeting with her in 2019. And so now I introduce, every time I'm talking to an audience and she's around, I tell them, you're hearing me because of her.
Do you know, I heard you at Sofa.
Yeah.
I was transfixed. I was like, how do people not know the power of healing? The power of intentionality? How do we not uncover what has been covered up by the rubble? Like, when I see you perform, I just look and I'm thinking, look at what somebody was going to deprive the world of. It was magical the last time. Like, compared to the last time that I saw you, every time you go away, it's like you interiorate, like you just do the feminine thing.
That I'm actually doing the work?
You know, yeah,
Isn't
you know,
that
like,
proof?
you're like, Doreen, I will return. And then when you return, I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, you return with this
Season
expression,
3.
which is very different.
Thank you.
I am scared for the world for season 4. That was amazing. That was
Thank you.
an amazing
It was
performance.
nice having you in the audience
Yeah.
because it's so interesting that whenever you're there, I feel approval.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, let me see if I'm doing anything at all.
Yeah.
If I've worked as hard as I think I have,
Yeah.
or if I'm failing at this.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you attend and then you tell me, this was amazing. This was good.
Yeah.
Then I know that I'm not doing terribly.
That's interesting. So today we're talking about soft is power. But we're also going to look at the aspects of our femininity that make us really strong and see for you which aspects had been buried, which aspects you have brought out. You've already mentioned how healing helped you to discover your voice. It's amazing. I thought actually you had been singing before.
No.
When
Not
you came to
commercially,
me,
at
when you
least.
came to me, we were mostly dealing with the post-divorce healing.
Yeah.
And then the things that came out after that, I was just bewildered, right? So I talk about soft power because also when I came to Kenya, I felt like presenting myself as a feminine woman, I was trembling to present myself as a feminine woman. I was trembling to even say, I honestly do not want to buy this and that. And yet I also respect the women who present themselves the way they do. You know, everybody has to choose how they want to express themselves. But I've seen that in the work of women's empowerment, for me personally, what I'm driving mostly is empowering the feminine archetypes in us. It's awakening all the women in us. It's owning them. It's having the sensations to the enchantress, to the maiden in you, to the queen in you, to the healer in you, to the creatrix in you. It's knowing how they rise inside you. And it's you sitting on your throne and saying, I am women. I'm not woman. You know, and giving a voice to each of those energies so that we can stop being boxed. I am one of those people that likes to surprise you like you do. Like you think you know me, I don't think you know this one. You thought you knew me, I don't think you know this, Doreen. And I like to play that mystery, but that's the mystery that we have as women. And I feel like it was silenced, it was taken out. And so you go into different cultures and one particular culture says women have to be one particular person. You know, like you can only be mothers. You can only be workers, queens. You can only be priestesses. You know, in this home, we can only be this. And so you find that the woman who actually is an enchantress, a lover, you know, who has her sensuality out, her sexuality out, she's curtailed it, she's covered it up, and yet that was her highest form of expression.
Very true.
So for the last also years, I have been telling women every time we have Women's Day, there's D&D, and I'm thinking our empowerment has to start with our internal authenticity, like our internal empowerment. And again, now we came to talk about the soft power, like really to bring it out. What does it mean? You know why? Because on the streets I'm meeting women and say, me, I'm tired of over hustling. I just want to chill and then feel soft and just be soft. I just want to be easy. And I'm like, that's not the soft power. Yes, it's okay to relax, to rest, to chill, you know, to be pampered. You know, they call it the soft era, you know, the soft girl era. And it's all about just being pampered. And I'm like, no, the soft power is different. And I have discovered you have a lot of that. And that's why I wanted to discuss that with you today. I want to discuss that with you today, you know, especially when we look into those aspects. But also for you to talk to us about your healing, the importance of healing post-divorce, right? And of course, your story is heartbreaking every time. I'd like for you to be able to be the one to tell us your story, you, your children, and also coming to the voice. I know we're going to talk, you know, because I want us to talk about the soft power. When we go into that, it's not going to be, you know, just 2 minutes, 5 minutes. And I'm happy that you've given me the time. But also to talk about the effect of domestic violence, of trauma, of anxiety on our sense of expression as women. You know, the effect, and for me, I go deeper. I know you don't like me to go there.
I like it.
Can I?
Let's go.
You know, you know, I honestly look at when a woman loses her voice, she also loses her orgasm.
Oh, that's true, though.
That's true. You okay with that?
Oh, yeah. I'm a church girl who knows the truth.
Oh, I love that because every time the first time that you came, we're talking about bridging the orgasm gap.
That was the second time.
Oh yeah, that was the second time. Look at me.
And oh my gosh, I posted the screen had the question.
Yeah, the question
of the relationship between voice
singing, the voice.
I was like, what are you doing there?
You know, the connection between singing, the vagus nerve, and your cervix.
Our sensuality.
And our sensuality. Like when this voice goes, the vaginal voice goes.
Very true.
When this voice is under anxiety, the vaginal voice is going to speak with a lot of anxiety. I connect that, and I'm going to be bringing in that, you know. It's very okay to talk about what your own story is when it comes to that, you know. So tell me, let's go there. There are aspects of the feminine. Now, when women talk about soft power, or when we talk about soft power, these are the aspects. Our aspect of receiving, our art of receiving, the way we are able to receive support, the way we are able to listen to another without wanting to fix them. Notice that, like my capacity to listen to your situation without having to fix you and be your support while you go through your own growth. But the aspect of that was injured, that we are not soft in that, the regulation is not there. Before you finish your story, I'm like, have you tried Doreen? Have you tried this? Have you tried this? The art of receiving someone's story without wanting to fix it is soft power.
It is.
The art of being fluid with our emotions, our tenderness, our sensitivity, your capacity to be seeing that, Doreen, you're talking too much, I wish you can keep quiet, but you're calm about it. You know, you're calm about it. It's power, because on the outside, the world is calling out all women to be, oh, me, I want a woman who is peaceful, who is calm, who is quiet. But again, the calm on the outside is not the same as the calm on the inside. The calm on the inside, where you're calming the storms, is where the power is.
Right.
Where you're like, I know if I could throw this on this person, I could do this on this person, I'm not going to walk away. I'm going to continue listening, and I'm going to give my feedback. The strength that comes with you sitting up with discomfort.
Right.
The discomfort that comes with you sitting up with criticism. The discomfort that comes with you putting up with a hard conversation and still have a smile or have a demeanor that is not offish or have a body language that is not spewing fire. You know, that strength is the soft power.
It is.
So when you can calm the storm on the inside and still be regulated on the outside and have the softness, you're powerful. But if on the outside, because the other women I see on the outside, they numb out, then they zone out, and then they dissociate. So they look like they're keeping the peace. They're like, I just like her. She's calm, she's peaceful, she's okay. But she's not connected to any emotions.
There's a brewing war on the inside.
On the inside, there's a brewing war. And when that war comes out, either she will stomp out, or she will do a lot of cheating, or she will engage in a lot of alcoholism.
Self-harm.
Do a lot of self-harm, or she will go and injure other girlfriend relationships or mess up other people's marriages, or she would take it somewhere, but show it to the person. And then they will call it soft. It is not soft. The real soft is the capacity to deal with those things. The way I've seen you, the fact that you've been able to sit in a marriage for some years and decide, now my power is here. I would like us to take us into that power so that it's practical.
Right.
You understand? The other aspect of soft power, because I would want you to pick out yours, the ones that you embody, and talk about how you embody them, the challenges that come with them, you know. I will also share a bit of that. So there's that, the art of receiving, our tenderness and fluidity, the capacity to sense emotions, anger rising, joy rising, ecstasy, you know, the capacity to sense all of them and flow with them and pick information with them and give the world what we want to give them. That takes power, right? And that's soft power. Our intuitive power, our power to know when we don't know what we don't know. Our power to know how we don't know how we know, right? Our power to be able to communicate through dreams. Our power to be able to connect with sensations of the body, you know, different sensations, and be able to tell. That inner knowing, that is power
It is power.
without confusing it for anxiety.
No.
Without saying, oh my goodness, I think I'm in love with this guy. Kumbe, it's just your gut telling you, no, you don't need to be that guy. You know, the power to be able to heal from anxiety, to know the sensations that are warning you and the sensations that are giving you good information. That is soft power, right? Then the power to be able to be cyclic, to be in the flow, right? Not to control outcomes, not to control relationships, not to control rejection, not to, not to fix a relationship so that it doesn't hurt. The power to surrender to the unknown. I have seen you. I think that's where you act a lot, you perform a lot of strength, right?
That's true.
That takes some strength,
It does.
right? The vulnerability to go into that space of unknown. People do not know how vulnerability takes strength. The vulnerability to fall in love and risk it. It takes vulnerability to connect with somebody without having to control whether they will reject you. To just flow. Knowing that if they leave you, you'll soothe this heartbreak, right? Without having to lose your cool, right? The capacity to be magnetic. To do what you did at SOFA. To walk into a room and everybody just stays in a trance. Like if you walked in and were like, this is how we stayed for the time that you were performing.
The feedback was amazing.
It was amazing. It wasn't just me. Like the moment you stepped out, the whole crowd was all over you. That's the magnetism. I love to watch it. I love to watch a woman walk into a room and the energy in the room changes.
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps.
That is magnetism,
It is.
to speak less and your energy speaks for you. So that we don't have to fill in every sentence with words.
Because the softness actually is very loud.
It is very loud.
It is very
now
loud.
Take us through your softness. Tell us about your power, how those aspects, some of them had died out and what you had to do to revive them.
It is so hard to even start.
I am all ears.
Where do I begin from?
I know. You're deep. Take us there.
Well, I'll say, as a church girl who was raised in the church, my understanding of softness was very different. It had a lot to do with the concept of submission, according to how we understand it in the Christian faith. But I've realized that very few people understand even a quarter of what that means.
Tell us what that means for you.
For me, I cannot submit to someone else before I submit to myself. So all these examples you're giving of surrendering and being able to tame the person you are on the inside so that you're that much stronger by just walking into a room before you speak. Because you've tamed the noise on the inside of you, you're already so powerful. So for me, I first submit to myself.
I like that. That's a new one.
We live and learn.
Yeah, I do. Just
I submit to myself, because if I do not know how to submit to my noise, oh my goodness.
Sounds like acceptance, right?
It can even sound like you're resigning, but then you're not. You're actually being really intentional about it and powerful about it. You know very well that the tribe from which I come in Uganda is known to be the loud, assertive. They call it big-headed. I don't call it big-headed. We are. It is a power that people have misused for generations.
Yes.
The women in Kabale are strong women. They've raised generations. They've taken in a lot of pain. They've defied odds. It's a very cold part of the country. And they wake up very early to go and feed their families. So there are things that they've had to do that have made them who they are. But now when you come to the central part of the country where women are a bit softer, then they misunderstand your strength and think you're behaving like a man.
So they say that you guys are aggressive. When I say they say you guys, because I pass by your place to go to my place.
You're one of us.
I know, right? I first go through your hard, through your softness,
to your soft corner of the world.
I go into the corner of the world called Kisoro, But Kisoro, we are called the Switzerland of Uganda. Like we are the most peaceful of all Ugandans. Wouldn't you say? But I know, going back to you, like the girls from Kabale have been called words like they're aggressive,
Yes.
they're hard,
Yes.
they are men,
Yes.
you know, they walk like men, you know, like you see, they
Yeah.
part.
The moment you say I'm a Muchiga girl, because
Yeah.
Muchiga is the tribe.
Yeah.
The moment you say I'm a Muchiga girl, they're thinking, she's capable of slapping, she's
Yeah.
capable of beating.
Yeah.
But I've realized that you can turn that narrative
Yeah.
and instead, forgive the statement, slap people with your presence.
True. I
Yeah.
like that. So that's
Yeah.
the strength you find. You're bringing me
Exactly.
to how I know you. Like, I know you to be that Muchiga that uses her voice.
Yeah.
We will get to that. Like, you cannot be silenced, but
Yes.
you use your composure to communicate. You don't have to use abusive words, because there's a thin line between aggressive
And abusive.
and abusive
Very
and
true.
assertive.
Yeah.
In as much as we may want to use our voice, there's a thin line between you being assertive and also being aggressive. So also, even as they may have the power of the voice, they have the strength internally. They are very confident women. I mean, they're women from the mountains. So the mountains are strong. They're as powerful
they're
as the
warriors.
mountains. They're warriors. They
Yes.
are grounded. They're grounded women. You can't
Very
shake
true.
them.
Very true.
You don't scare them. You don't leave them and you think they
Yeah.
are going to come running after you. You don't tell them how you have 5 children, so I'm going to cheat on you, and then they stay there. They're grounded women.
The truth is they can beat up a man precisely because they do hard labor.
Oh.
They can do it.
Yeah.
But then I'm stepping away from that narrative.
That's what I wanted to ask you. How do you heal that? Because their assertiveness is actually their truth.
It is.
Like, they
live
are the
it every
representative.
day.
They are the expression of feminine confidence.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And unless some of them are unhealed, because all of us have had trauma, regardless of the small communities that we come from, the ones who are unhealed, I think, are the ones who take it a notch higher and become violent.
Yes.
So I don't think the
Because of the
Muchiga girl gets
society.
violent,
Yes.
right? So also because of the society, the expectations on the woman, the rage,
Yes.
you know, the fact that she's been, because the assertive women and the strong women have been abandoned by men, and then they're running things on their own. So then they have the rage. But now I want to take you to, how do you balance that? Given that you love that, but also you use your magnetism to speak, how does that work for you?
So I'll just take you according to the story of my life.
Yeah.
Because I'll say that going into marriage with that narrative, I was giving you the background of the women, because you see now when you marry into a different tribe, that's the narrative that your partner has, unfortunately. And you cannot change people's minds. Because if they've told themselves that, the Wachiga are this way,
That's true.
then already you are
biased.
prejudged. Yes. So I walked into the marriage gentle, you know, I'm a Christian choir girl, very gentle according to how I knew myself. But now the narrative is every mistake you make or every small thing that you cannot attend to is attributed to, she's a Muchiga girl. So even when you're not trying to be rude, you are coined as rude. Even when you're not trying to you know, disrespect, you are coined as disrespectful. And then slowly but surely, I realized that I'm being attacked for what I actually am not. You know, someone tells you, you're big-headed, I need to tame you. I'm thinking, I'm not a wild animal. I'm domesticated. If anything, I'm domesticated, you know?
Wait, I need to tell reminds me of taming of the shrew. So you you're stereotyped into a shrew.
Yeah.
Like, so I need to tame
And
this
it is
one.
disturbing.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, I have not even shown any signs of needing taming, so to speak.
like
Oh
the wild
my
in me has
gosh.
not even been
Yes,
raised.
and then
yet.
it would give me such a rage on the inside. And I'm thinking, I'm being stereotyped. I'm being misused instead of someone
the word.
uplifting who you are
Yeah.
on you know, who you actually are. They've chosen to take the narrative that society has laid out, and now they are beating you down on grounds of things you actually are not.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was coined all this, and when I would speak, if we went for meetings with my ex-husband and I spoke in a family meeting, so I am an accountant by profession, right? I studied accounting
Yeah.
at the university.
Yeah.
So when we would have family meetings, families in Uganda like to start savings groups, so we had one of those, and they were choosing me as the accountant of the group. So I was tasked to keep the money, and I had to speak in the meetings. But then we would go back home, and he says, why can't you just shut up sometimes?
Oh, gosh.
And I'm thinking, why is he being so harsh? What did I actually do?
This is you above 25.
Oh my goodness. That's where it really annoys.
I know.
And now that's when you have to submit yourself on the inside, like I said, because if you do not submit on the inside, you're going to actually really either harm the person or harm yourself. So right from the marriage, I had to learn how to just keep quiet, but not keep quiet and break until I have nothing left, but keep quiet and have an introspective conversation with myself. Is this who I really am? Or is this person trying to actually turn me into this thing? Because you see, when we keep speaking, we speak life.
Yeah.
We speak life and death. So if I keep telling you, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, it's a matter of time before you look at yourself and you say, I am ugly.
Because you're in a vulnerable state, so your spirit is exposed. Your
So
intuition
if someone says you're big-headed, you don't listen. You talk when it's only men who should be talking. Why are you talking when other women are quiet? And then you start to think, maybe I should actually shut up, like he said. Maybe I actually talk too much. Maybe I'm big-headed. Maybe I need taming. Which now, now you see, abusive people are very interesting. They begin with words. So the reason why I said you have to submit to yourself, submission has a lot to do with words than actions. Because if you do not silence the noise in your head, other people are going to be louder. That's the truth.
That's true.
So if you can't do it for your voice, how will you do it for other people's voice?
That's good. That's part of some of the things that I believe in when we start the value system.
Yeah.
Like your inner husband. Like you need to have an inner, like your strength, your protection has to be inside. And you have to build a narrative about you that will protect you against that.
So that it bounces off. It bounces back.
I like that.
So that's the only
submission you're talking about. Beautiful.
So when he would talk, I would say, no, that's not who I am. No, this is not who I'm supposed to become. No, I am bigger than that. No, I am respectful. I honor him. So I would remind myself that his narrative is not who I am. Wow. And from the, when abusers use words and they don't work, they start to use the physical. So unfortunately it turned
physical. It turned to the physical.
Yes, because the words were not hurting me like he expected.
So your softness was keeping you strong on the inside, but annoying him on the outside.
It annoys abusers to be calm. It works against us all the time. Yeah. Because they expect you to break down and cry or to shout back. Yeah. They expect some sort of reaction. Yeah. But this whole time you are reacting on the inside. Yeah. And they're not seeing that you being calm is power.
The dangerous women that you talk about.
I think if you do it the right way, you release.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be danger. Why should people figure you out? Why should anybody figure you out?
Of course they'll fear you. Yeah. They'll fear you, that's the truth. Yeah. Because they're thinking, why isn't she reacting? Yeah. Maybe she wants to kill me while I'm sleeping. Yeah. But eventually it turned physical. And then that's where I drew the line,
He started beating.
Yes, because now he wanted to beat what he's speaking into my head. Because you see, the reason people beat is to cause you to submit, but the wrong way. Because submission is two-way. I can submit in a healthy way.
What is actually supposed to be beautiful, stereotyped and turned into something ugly, and how you're showing how our strength actually dies out.
It does.
Clarissa Pinkola says the death of the soul, like the woman's instinctual death. Yeah. Like all your instincts start dying out because what was arguably beautifully strong has been stereotyped to be aggressive, and now it's being turned into something you can't recognize, and you're caught into chaos on the inside, thinking he's trying to ask me to be that, but I don't want to be that.
I woke up one day and, you know, he had strangled me in my sleep.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're sleeping.
Yeah.
Then your husband is supposed to be making love to you. In fact, who's supposed to be initiating morning glory.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Turn morning glory into a strangle.
And it's very difficult to put those two human beings together, because this is someone you chose willingly. You know, we are no longer in the age where they force us into marriage, at least not in my tribe. We choose our own mates, you know?
Yeah.
And then you choose somebody and you go through the courtship phase and you think you know this person. And at the smallest sight of danger, they think you're their biggest enemy, so you're the one who should suffer for it.
You're a person you have children with.
Yeah.
You wake up and you're being strangled.
It's so hard to reconcile those two people. Those two people.
How have you come out of that?
Well, you're part of it. You're part of how I have come out of it.
It gets very elaborate every time that we get to talk, because, of course, one thing about women, women have been trained to protect men. You go through stuff for 5 years. How long was it for you?
5 years.
5 years, you go through stuff and you're battling. Should I tell the world? Should I not? Should I tell my mom? Should I not? And then you're scared of being...
closest friend who won't laugh at me.
Exactly. You're scared of being misunderstood. You're worried about your story not being taken. And all the while, your body's going through the torture. And so by the time you came out, I remember you came at the 2019?
Yeah.
The D&D that we had in 2019. And you couldn't sing at first because you had first breakdown. Like, you literally broke down and the whole room broke down, but you awakened everyone's story. Because from your story, now women got the courage to talk about their marital stories. You know, we started forming groups and communities and safe spaces and realizing that it can't stop at D&D, because now at D&D we had, you know, my goal for D&D was, we talk about a lot of hard stuff. Can we just for once come and play?
Yes, yes.
Like, can we come and dance?
That day, when I woke up to sing, I took people to a space that they
took
didn't
us to a different space, and
I didn't expect to go there.
I didn't expect you to, you know, and your expression, you know, spoke of just so much more that you had gone through. And all these times, because this is the second time you're coming since that time, you're breaking it down. Now, the part of strangling, I think I dealt with that part of the children, because we were dealing with that for a long time. You know, I noticed that that's where your pain was mostly at the time that you first came. Now this is strange, because now we're going to talk about the voice, how it dies, and your voice is being strangled.
No, and his hands are on my throat, literally. It's not just a spiritual strangling.
Oh, no.
It is a physical one as well. And actually, when I think also me, every time I talk about it, it hits me afresh.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because now I'm realizing...
Do you own the story? Do you feel like it's your story?
Sometimes it feels like it's another girl. Because I cannot believe it was me.
Yeah. Are you able to receive that person again? Like
I hug her from time to time. But I feel
the
like...
guy that strangled you.
Oh, to see him?
Like now to be feminine with him again.
Like, of course not. When I see him from a distance, I go into defense mode. My body just...
Because I'm looking at your intuition, it gets affected. Your magnetism, the strength that you're talking about, how did that change around?
Oh my goodness.
How did
Everything
you see
just
yourself?
went to zero.
Oh.
If not negative. Because you see, before someone hits you, they are already using the negative words, right? So he was already insulting and trying to belittle me. But I used not to pay him a lot of my mind, because I was strong on the inside. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I had such a strength
Yeah.
on the inside that I think it got annoying.
Like he didn't penetrate a certain part
he could
of you.
not, because I know my identity in Christ. I grew up in church.
Yeah.
So I knew who I was.
And it was working for you.
It was
'Cause I've
working
seen some people
amazingly.
who they are Christian, but Christianity is not working for them.
I don't
like
know
that.
how, but
Yeah.
it was a strength.
It was your
that-
anchor.
It was. And I keep telling people I was raised by God himself, because
Oh, wow.
for the longest time I've known that God is indeed my father. And I have known that everything he says about me is the truth. No one can untell me the truth that he tells me. But it was that moment of physical pain from someone you don't expect to cause it. That
It's
now
not the robbers coming in.
Yes.
It's your husband. The
And
one
you're
who sleeps.
sleeping. You're not having an argument. Because if I'm having an argument with you and it gets heated up and we slap each other, that's different. And the brain takes it differently. If I'm deep asleep and I am awakened by your hands on my throat, that's a whole... I take steps to actually go back to that day.
Tell us what happened now.
Well,
To you, to your sense of self, what did you feel die inside you?
in the moment, I don't think I even knew just how bad it was going to be for me after. I was in too much shock to even notice that this was something that I couldn't walk away from. You know, he would speak and I would walk away from it. But this was not something where I can just sit myself down and talk to myself. This needed another party to speak to me. I think this was the first time that I needed someone like you to remind me.
Yeah.
So that's what it did. It broke that inner therapist.
So you froze.
Yeah, exactly.
That froze you for a long time. You needed to be thawed.
A very long time.
Because when you came to Nairobi, I remember you sent me a message and said, I just want to come and be in Nairobi. And I didn't know then. And when you came to Nairobi, also what I have seen over time, I've just seen you thaw, you know. So given that you've done some thawing, you're able to look back. There were some effects.
A lot.
So what can you say violence does to the softness, to this soft power? Yeah.
I think first of all, every woman knows that if the hands that are supposed to be making love to you are the same ones hurting you,
Listen to that.
the body is already done. Like it will fight you. Like the body will fight you, the owner.
Yeah.
If you're delivering yourself to the same man who has hurt you, the body will shut.
Go deeper on that, because
itself.
women don't know how that happens.
I don't even know. Like, if for example, unfortunately, there are ladies who go through marital rape, right? And they're in there. If your body knows that the person you're walking towards has hurt me before, it will shut down on its own. It's like it has a sensor. It has an automated sensor on
Would you
its
say
own.
that broke down in the relationship as the abuse, the abusive words came about? That your capacity to create, your capacity to be sensual, your capacity to be sexual. Because I remember when we were unearthing your voice, then I was called to talk about the effect of the vagus nerve being affected, you know, and how it affects orgasms. And yet these same men will be like, you don't even make love to me anymore. The marriage becomes sexless.
Oh, now they say you have other lovers.
You have other lovers, but then you're not able,
They
like
don't realize
your
they've
vagina
actually-
shuts down. They shut down this voice. They
Literally.
don't know the vagina shuts down as well. And you know, when the vagina shuts down for the woman, also her creativity starts getting affected. Businesses start getting affected. You know, the things that you would be able to do to get
start
yourself.
disassociating from the female energy.
You know,
Because the first thing I think I got rid of was my female friends, because I didn't want to be softened.
the same people that would even be supportive enough to heal you, like whose energy would be healing you, but you had to cut them
Which is
away.
why the dinner in 2019 made me break down, because that was the first time I felt like I was in a safe space with other women.
Oh.
That's why I was able to just let it flow.
And they allowed you to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
We look for those spaces. They're not easy to find. Because when we're dealing with a mother wound, we know part of the reason why we carry some of our mother's pain is because our mothers didn't have safe spaces for them to express this rage, to express the anger.
It was taboo to even talk about
talk about it. But no, like, to be able, I think also one of the things I want us to talk about, to be able to have that community where people will listen to you without wanting to fix you, just to listen to you, you know, where people will listen to you and hold space for you. You know, we read a book by Bruce Perry and Oprah Winfrey, and he talks about a narrative that shifts so many things. You know, we come in a community where we hear our stories just to learn what happened to you. You know, so that we can be able to know how to hold space for you instead of asking what's wrong with you. you know, and knowing that actually when people come or people are looking for these spaces, they don't find them. I like for women to know that a healed community really is a healing community. Even if these women don't have to
if
take
I hadn't
anything.
healed, there wouldn't be Ashaba music, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The music that I sing now wouldn't exist if I hadn't staggered into the sensuality dinner that I came for. I don't think I would be singing. Because after that dinner, I went back, and that's when lockdown happened actually. And I started to write music. And it just started flowing out of me. And I created 2 albums. I've only released 1. But I created so much music after
You're going to
that.
sing for us some of that? Yeah, she's going to give us all
for the music.
You just give us a bit.
Just
take us into it, you know. So we've talked about 2 things that break down, what 2 things that domestic violence does get to break down about your softness, your sexuality, your capacity to be magnetic, to create, because when you can't create, you can't be magnetic. You don't have that pride. You don't have that confidence in you, you know. Your body image, brother, you say the one thing that didn't break down is who you know you are.
Yeah.
Or
but after the physical strangling, even that was gone. Even that, which is why the dinner helped me. The traveling here unlocked that once again.
So even your authenticity,
but it was bruised. Even now,
broken.
Yeah, even now it is a little bruised, because now I'm particularly always looking for someone who understands my gift. If someone shows me even the smallest sign that they don't get it, I will walk.
So you're still hyper vigilant.
Exactly. That's what it has now done for me, which I wasn't before.
I see.
I was, a very innocent girl with so much love, But now I am suspicious.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's connect that to the feminine power of intuition, because intuition is what gives us the freedom to be able to receive people and listen to them, knowing I have the power to see what's right and what's wrong. But hypervigilance makes you suspect that everybody's against you.
Oh my goodness.
That you're not able to be in the moment and even connect with people. That people's words sound negative to you.
Yeah.
That people's words sound critical
and
to
you become
you.
sort of unforgiving, because if someone just makes a slip of the tongue, you're done with them.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I've been there before. So that's the part now that I'm working on. The
I like the
sometimes
acceptance. I like the awareness on that. That you can sense that you're not as intuitive as you used to be, and that it has been replaced by hypervigilance.
It has.
And that you're not forcing your healing. That even as you can recognize parts of you that you've healed, that you have an awareness of other parts that you're about to heal. That's very beautiful to hear.
Oh my gosh,
That's beautiful.
That's why the wellness journey is endless. That's why we keep looking for you.
Tell us about the purpose of or why you would recommend wellness for artists and for musicians.
Oh, first of all, my story is mine, but it does not mean that it has only happened to me. Right? That's the first thing I'll say.
Yeah.
So most artists have gone through one type of trauma or the other.
Yeah.
That's the beginning point.
Yeah.
That as human beings, somebody has hurt us at some point.
Yeah.
And I've found that most creatives, not just musicians, even painters, even writers,
Even therapists.
yes, most have become who they are because they were hurt.
Yeah.
I am singing because I was strangled, which is very, very weird. We can laugh now. I wasn't laughing that time.
No, the coloration is like no one sees it coming. No one sees it coming.
Oh my God! Yeah. You know what I used to tell people? I used to tell my audiences. The music was slapped out of me. So I would start the show when everyone is in laughter, like they did expect me to say it that way.
Like if someone did slap.
They slapped the music out of my head, because it seems as if that's exactly what happened. Like I didn't write any albums until after. So it was like a rite of passage.
Do you like it?
No. Oh, I told God, this was the only way he could have gotten me to write music. Like, there was no other method you could have employed for Ashaba to become Ashaba music.
Sounds candid with your God.
Oh yes, he is my father. We have this.
You have these conversations.
Yes,
You're
we
like,
do.
I
So
love this,
so
but did you
God,
have to take me?
Yeah, so I'm like, so God, there was no other way for me to write music apart from getting it slapped out of me. So that's that's the only way that's how I approach it with humor.
I don't want you to say this music was choked out of me.
No.
No, but sexually choked is okay, right?
No, it's now that we are talking that
What
I've
if-
actually internalized the choking, honestly.
So can you allow for choking during sex? Does it trigger
No,
you?
thank you.
It triggers you,
Yeah.
right? It's like the way women, or majority of us who were spanked in childhood.
You don't take it as a fetish. Like you don't
No,
want
like
it.
spanking me is like, dude, are you trying to like, is that my dad or my, you know? Right? So there's something about, as a coach, there's something that I see. It's good that you've mentioned that. All of us have, we can say all of us are toxic. We are work in progress.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But all of us have had an entry or have had a tool. The brain is so
It's
clever.
called the turning point, I think.
But also the brain is clever. You have innate gifts. The brain goes to use those
yes.
to help you. Now, in the wake of trauma, a bit of dissociation is healthy because situations can be intense for a child to comprehend that the brain chooses to help the child to dissociate a bit. And there are dissociative skills that the brain used to help you adapt that people still continue to dissociate through, but the world looks at them as gifts.
Yes.
That's the point where as a
most
coach,
musicians are dissociating, so to speak.
now that's the thing. I want us to get there.
Yeah.
So let's look at a musician who is 8 years old or 7 years old, who has gone just way through too much, and then they discovered that through singing they're soothing. You know, when they sing, they soothe, they express this pain, you know. Then some of them, they probably use the music to get lost, disappear, right? And you do more than sing, and you do have more than one gift that can be used rightly or wrongly. So as a coach, when I meet them later, so let's juxtapose them later, a musician who is wooing the crowd with their voice. In fact, they cause an emotional condition called what? What did we call it? Hysteria. Like they woo the crowd until people become hysterical, until people faint. And you're thinking, goodness, if she can have this magic on people, how happy is she on the inside? Then let's see her. Let's cast a light on her when she's sleeping in her bed. The tossing and turning. She's ruminating. She has chaotic.
She needs to take a pill to sleep.
Or she has to take a pill to sleep. She's the unhappiest of people.
But she has given the
she
world
doesn't have
so
people.
much.
She feels lonely, and she gives the world so much. And people can't understand that. Some of them have committed suicide, and we're thinking, wait, you just made me connect with my partner. Through your concert, I was able to find my lover. You know, through your concert, your music makes me and my partner connect. How dare you leave me like that?
It is difficult to imagine that someone who can give so much is lost on the inside.
So let's look at you. Because some musicians or some artists have not healed enough to get to sense on the inside if they're still using the gift to dissociate or to express. Because if you don't heal, then it doesn't work for you. It continues to work for people.
It works against you.
It works
Because
against
it
you.
siphons your energy.
Exactly.
There are times when I've performed and I've left so exhausted, and then I know that I'm not doing well for myself. Then there are times when I can sing for 3 hours and walk away feeling like I did not sing because I'm doing the work.
How has healing done that for you?
First of all, I'll say you cannot heal alone. I think that's one of the things I accepted. I'm a loner, but I have accepted that you cannot heal alone.
That's true.
You need either a coach or you need a friend. The friends also, of course, have their own
They're
burdens.
not professional.
That's the truth. They're not trained to help you through your tunnel because it's a tunnel.
They stop somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you need someone. If you cannot get a therapist, then it has to definitely be a coach. Because for me, from knowing what to eat, when to eat it, when to sleep, when to give myself the grace and disconnect from the rest of the world, when to do a physical exercise and leave my voice out of it. Because it may seem like it's foolish to climb a mountain so that you can do a show, you know, but it's not foolish. So knowing that knowledge, like knowing all that has helped me to heal.
I like that.
And to move forward. And it's not a one-day trip. It's not a one-day journey.
Now take us through that voice that has healed. Let it be the last thing people hear. In fact, let me even sign out before you sing. She is not going away. I have her tomorrow as well. I want her to take us through the voice. The effect of when she found her voice, the effect of trauma on the voice, the effect of the mother wound on the voice. You know, I would also like to talk to her about the fantasy mother, because she has also found healing through healing the mother wound. And those are stories that we talk about. And if we must talk about empowerment, can we empower ourselves and understand the difference between soft power and forced soft power? The difference between inner soft power, the power that is inner that makes you look soft on the outside. May we heal so that we find it again. Amen. May we find our intuition. May we find our magnetism. May we find our receptivity. May we find our cycles, our rhythms. You know, may we flow again. May we create that ease on the inside. May we learn again how to surrender to the unknown. May we capture that and have sensations about it, so that on the outside we are flowing, we are gliding like she looks like, because inside she has submitted. Amen. Because inside you have submitted to the soft power. My name is Doreen, and I am happy. I think even my voice sounds better when I have company, right? We don't heal in isolation. I don't like being alone. I need a partner in all ways. You know, thank you so much, Ashaba, for coming, and thank you for allowing to talk to me again for the next one. So this is Heal with Doreen. Please subscribe. Please share this video to as many women as possible. Let's talk about soft power, and please let's allow her to take us out of here with that beautiful voice, the healed voice.
Yeah. I dedicate this song to the women who have intentionally gone to heal with Doreen.
Oh, welcome. Warm hugs, warm hugs.
Those who are thinking about it.
Nice.
Yes. Please take healing seriously, because until you do, you're not going to give birth to that which God gave you. Not just children, because that's also a very big part of what she talks about, but even your giftings. You might be a mother, but you're also a photographer. You might be a mother and you're also a singer.
Now you've started another podcast. Now I want to continue talking.
The song is track 3 on my album. My album, Fireflies.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's track 3. It's titled In His Image.
In His Image.
Yes.
We're going to drop this. We're going to drop the details of this album and where else you can be able to listen to this lovely slapped out voice.
Amen.
Take us on.
Yeah. In His Image is a song about the truth that God has spoken over me, in comparison to what I was being told I am. So in His image. Ta-da-da-da. Ta-da-da. Ta-da-da-da. Ta-da-da. They say I talk too much, that I should know my place. They say I think too much, that I should think much less. They say I imagine too much, front mind is not for me. They say I see too much, that I should be a lady, but I am a woman in His image. I'm created to live, created to thrive, created to be someone. I am a woman in His image. I can create, multiply, I'm here to be someone. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. When I speak I'm nagging when I keep quiet, I'm too hurt. I used to smile to think in silence that will bring some peace. I don't know what's too much, I don't know what's enough. I feel like I'm much less than what God sent me for. I am the woman in His image. I'm created to live, created to thrive, created to be someone. I am the woman in His image. I can create, multiply, I'm here to be someone.
Oh, beautiful. If you're looking for healing, we have a community called the Sensuous Book Club where we read books, but this community is mostly of women who have healed, women who want to heal deeply and heal their femininity. To see you sing like that, knowing that this voice wasn't there in marriage and before marriage, God is amazing.
Isn't He?
Isn't it true when they say God is feminine?
God is a woman. That's true.
Thank you, and see you around.